Well, here's the next bright idea for car vehicle maintenance. We have to check the lights on these things. We're going to do a walk around the entire vehicle and make sure all your lights are working the whole way around the vehicle. That includes brake lights, turn signals, and the reverse lights. You also want to make sure your license plate lights are working and all of the lenses as far as anything is supposed to light up. If a police officer happens to be following you at night and they can't see your license plate, that's probable cause to pull you over. Also, we're going to want to check your high beams and your low beams. Low beams, high beams, low beams, high beams. This vehicle's got a problem. This beam is really, really dim, so it's going to need looked at. Probably a diagnosis of corrosion on the ground wire or some sort of thing like that. The other thing this car has is all this film on the headlights that actually would fail state inspection because it's not putting out bright enough lights. As part of car maintenance and car care, in the realm of waxes and car washes and other car cleaning chemicals, they actually make a kit that will polish up these lenses and make them cleaner and brighter so that they shine brighter. Bulbs come in different shapes, sizes, colors, used for different purposes. We have red lights are only used for marker lights. We have amber lights that live inside of white housings for turn signals. We got their counterpart that's also clear. It also has the same number on it, used for turn signals and stop lights. If you notice, this one has two filaments in it, whereas this one only has a single filament. This would be for like a reverse light. Just because a bulb and another bulb look the same, it doesn't necessarily mean they are the same. They also carry their own number. There's a 3157 and there's a 3457. The difference between these two bulbs is the filament inside or different resistances. Some bulbs are meant to be self-checked by the vehicle, by the computer system. If you put the wrong bulb in the vehicle, you may set up a diagnostic trouble code or a light. These guys here typically belong in like an overhead light, like a map light. These older ones with the round bases tend to be in older vehicles or motorcycles. These ones here just plug in, tend to go into newer vehicles. It's the newer design. To change these, all you have to do, plugs in, pops out. These are keyed. There's a shape to them. When they go into the lens, they go in one way, and then you usually turn them one way or the other to lock them in place. There's a rubber seal around here to keep them from getting any kind of water or moisture inside. These older type, like this, there's a keyway on the inside of here. That the round bulbs, notice that they have like an offset set of tangs in there. They'll go in, push, and they should turn one way or the other if I have it right. I've got a feeling that this is probably going to be a single filament bulb that goes in this one, which I don't have. Let's try this guy. This is a three-way one. Put it in, and it will turn. It holds it in place. This one here has a different kind of locking mechanism on it. This one here you'd actually push in, then turn it. It keeps it from coming out, but again, has a rubber seal. When it comes to headlights, we're going to talk about removing them in a second, but very, very important tip for these. There's a special coating on the edge of these headlights that you cannot touch with your hands. If you touch them with your hands, throw it away and get a new one. The bulb's not going to last very long. So make sure that if you're changing a headlight, or a fog light, never ever 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 touch the bulb part, and only touch the base. These got a built-in seal. They also have a keyway on them so that they only go in the housings a certain way. Okay. Some are held in with this like little clips that just kind of hold them in like this. In this case it would be like this. This is most likely out of a Subaru. Some will have a locking ring where this will plug in a certain way. See the keyways? They'll go in a certain way and then a locking ring will lock it into place. But accessing them, the headlights especially, can sometimes be really difficult. Let's talk about that for a second. So we're back here on our ShopKey program, and I just wanted to let you know that certain headlights are harder to change than others. If you're unfortunate enough to have a 2006 Volkswagen Passat, you're going to be in for a lot of work to change one headlight bulb. And likewise, if you're working on cars for a living, you might want to look up the labor time for replacing a headlight bulb in all the vehicles you work on, just because of this simple fact. On this car, here's the whole specifications of what you gotta do to take it out. You unplug a plug, remove the radiator grill, remove the front bumper, remove the mounting bolts and the guide pins, remove the mounting bolts, arrows at the top of the headlights, remove the mounting bolts and arrows at the bottom of the headlights, and remove the headlight. That's 6 steps, right? Pretty easy. Until you get up here to where it says remove the front bumper cover. Remember, on ShopKey, everything that you select that's blue is something that's selectable. So there's a bunch of steps for removing the grill, there's a bunch of steps for removing the bumper cover. So here you are taking all these bolts out to take that bumper cover off. That headlight repair is probably going to take you a good 1.5 to 2 hours to do, just to change one light bulb. Lucky for us, our 2004 Taurus only has 1 bolt and 2 clips holding the thing together. Anybody timing me? That was just a clip, it's okay. So inside of this housing right here, if we turn it a quarter turn, you pop that socket off. We can unplug the plug. Turn our little thing here. And there's our headlight. See the keyways? And then you put it back in a certain way. Inside this housing, if you can see it, there's these little tabs, and they're all offset from each other. There's only one direction to put these in, and the reason why is these are designed to put a beam out a certain direction. I gotta remember which way things go. It shouldn't go in any other way other than the way it's supposed to go in. So that's in. Here's our locking tab, cappy thing. Put it back in. Headlight back in. Whoops, my little seal came off. I better unplug that again. Make sure your seals are where they're supposed to be, because if moisture gets in there, that would be a bad thing. There's another little tip for you. One of the biggest killers of bulbs other than wearing out because they've been used for so long is cracked lenses, getting moisture in them. Then we're just going to reverse the procedure here to put it back together. Sometimes there's little tabs it needs to go into, crevices of sorts, so to speak, but you have to find the right position for it to get it to go where you want it to go. And now that we're done, we're going to check to make sure it works. And it does. It's that easy, right? Right. Sometimes it's really easy to change bulbs, like on this truck. There's 2 screws, the whole thing just comes out, the bulb just comes out, new bulb in, put the 2 screws in, you're done. So sometimes they're hard, sometimes they're not. Nonetheless, you should always check shop key before trying to change a light bulb. If you don't have shop key available to you, sometimes your or your owner's manual will tell you how to do it, or sometimes you can get help with a YouTube video. So now, go out to a vehicle, take a walk around, look at all the light bulbs on it. You shouldn't be working alone if you don't have a license. So whoever's with you, have them step on the brake pedal, you check the brake lights. Operate the turn signals, you check the turn signals, front and back. Go around, see if there's any bulbs burn out. And hey, maybe you want to take on the task of changing a light bulb that's burnt out.